What's going on, everybody? It is Joe. Welcome to the channel today. Breaking news, President Donald Trump has finally done it. Everyone's been waiting for this moment. We've been waiting for this announcement. He's been promising this all along the campaign trail. He promised this last year in Nashville at the Bitcoin conference, but he just signed the bill for a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Breaking news. This is massive. This is the moment we've been waiting for, and Bitcoin people got their wish. There was no other coins mentioned in the reserve. It was just Bitcoin. He did mention other coins, and we'll talk about that in these posts, but I want to dive right into this, so take a listen to this.
An executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and digital asset stockpile. This is a promise that you made throughout the campaign, and today we're keeping that promise. The reserve will be capitalized with Bitcoin that the federal government already owns, so it won't cost taxpayers a dime. This is like a digital Fort Knox for digital gold. And premature sales of Bitcoin over the past years cost American taxpayers over $17 billion in lost value because we didn't have a long-term strategy.
Right.
Now we do. So,
And this is something you believe in?
100%, yeah.
Okay.
And the whole community believes in it.
Very good. And they made the promise, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There you have it. The moment we have all been waiting for is official. The executive order has been signed. Bitcoin is in the strategic reserve. Just a few minutes ago, here we have David Sachs, the White House and AI crypto czar, saying just a few minutes ago, President Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The reserve will be capitalized with Bitcoin owned by the federal government that was forfeited as part of criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. This means it will not cost taxpayers a dime. A lot of people were wondering how this was going to be funded, whether it would cost taxpayers any money. We finally got some clarity there. That is a big piece that people were wanting to know, because there are a lot of taxpayers that did not want their money going towards Bitcoin, and so this clears that up on where that money is going to come from. It is estimated that the U.S. government owns about 200,000 Bitcoin. However, there has never been a complete audit. The executive order directs a full accounting of the federal government's digital asset holdings. The U.S. will not sell any Bitcoin deposited into the reserve. It will be kept as a store of value. The reserve is like a digital Fort Knox for the cryptocurrency, often called digital gold. So they're not going to be selling any of their Bitcoin. There's a report today of how much Bitcoin they've sold over the last several years and how much that's cost America. And now we have clarity that they will not be selling any, and that they're looking at it like the digital Fort Knox for the cryptocurrency, often called digital gold. Premature sales of Bitcoin have already cost U.S. taxpayers over $17 billion in lost value. Hey, that's actually what I was just referring to. Now the federal government will have a strategy to maximize the value of its holdings. The Secretaries of Treasury and Commerce are authorized to develop budget-neutral strategies for acquiring additional Bitcoin, provided that those strategies have no incremental cost on American taxpayers. So they are going to look for more ways, but they want to make sure there's no incremental cost for American taxpayers. In addition, the executive order establishes a U.S. digital asset stockpile consisting of digital assets other than Bitcoin forfeited in criminal or civil proceedings. When they say that, I think this is where Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, Solana, those are going to come in. And then when they talk about criminal or civil proceedings, that kind of sparks my attention with XRP, with that SEC case coming up. Are they going to pay a big portion to the government to make this happen, and will that raise the value? I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go, knowing that the government's going to be stockpiling XRP potentially if XRP forfeits over a ton of their holdings. So going to be keeping an eye on that. The government will not acquire additional assets for the stockpile beyond those obtained through forfeiture proceedings. The purpose of the stockpile is responsible stewardship of the government's digital assets under the Treasury Department. Promises made, promises kept. This is what I've been saying for a while. Donald Trump has been keeping his promises so far in almost every other thing that he's promised during the campaign trail. He's been knocking those things off one at a time, and I just figured it was a matter of time before the Bitcoin promise was made or kept, and here we have it. It finally happened, and I could not be more excited. President Trump promised to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve and digital asset stockpile. Those promises have now been kept. This executive order underscores President Trump's commitment to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world, and that is going to be huge. I feel like we are just at the beginning stages of this, and the sky is the limit. I want to thank the President for his leadership and vision in supporting this cutting-edge technology and for his rapid execution in supporting the digital asset industry. His administration is truly moving at tech speed. So that's another thing. I thought it was going to take quite a bit of time to get all this figured out on the back end, to establish what it was going to look like, where the money is going to come from, what percentage is going to be in there, and how it was even going to work. Like, there was a lot to figure out with having Bitcoin in the strategic reserve as an asset. And so a lot of people wanted it to happen right away. Trump, I think, said within 100 days. And now we have that clarity. There is still a few questions to ask, but we just got a lot of clarity and answered a lot of questions with this executive order, and it clears a lot up. I also want to thank the President's Working Group on Digital Asset Markets, especially Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick for their support, or help and support in getting this done. Finally, Bo Hines played a critical role as executive director of our working group. So there you have it, Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. It's official. Leading up to the Crypto Summit tomorrow, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So if you enjoyed this breaking news, please comment below. I'll love to interact with you guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and I'm always bringing new content every single day. So hit that subscribe button, comment below. I'd love to interact with you guys. And I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open for tomorrow's Crypto Summit to see if we get any more news, to see if we get any more clarity, especially regarding that stockpile with those other assets. Like, what's the allocation going to be there? What coins are exactly going to be included? Is it only going to be Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Cardano? Are there going to be others? Is Bitcoin going to be in that stockpile as well? Or is it just going to be for those altcoins? I'm really curious to know if we're going to get some clarity there. I did like that they did mention those coins at least today during the strategic Bitcoin reserve announcement. So it's not like they completely ignored them, and they did address that issue. So while it is a little disappointing that they aren't in that strategic reserve, maybe there will be like a American-made strategic reserve still, or maybe there will be like a altcoin strategic reserve with these assets that come over from criminal or civil asset forfeiture. So maybe there still will be something, we don't know, but what we do know is that there will be a Bitcoin strategic reserve and a digital asset stockpile, and that was confirmed with this executive order, which is a big moment that we've been waiting for. And now we can go into tomorrow, into that Crypto Summit with a little clarity on what to expect, and I feel like we're just going to continue to build off of this news with tomorrow. So give me your thoughts below on what you think. Are you excited about this? Are you disappointed because some of the other assets weren't included? Are you still holding out hope that they will be included? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Curious to know what we think Bitcoin's going to go to. Speaking of that, I kind of want to just check what it's at, if it's gone up at all. No, it's still price isn't reacting really yet, but I feel like it's dropped recently. But I feel like over the next few hours, through tonight into tomorrow, we're going to see some of that price action change now that Bitcoin people know that it's only going to be Bitcoin. So keep your eye on that as well, and I'm super excited. Give me your thoughts below. Breaking news again, Donald Trump signs executive order for a Bitcoin strategic reserve. I'm super excited. We've been waiting for this moment. Promises made, promises kept. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.